Welcome into Steelers Talk. I am your host, Jack Sperry. You know, the 2025 offseason is a little bit further away right now. Okay, we're still in the middle of this season. The Steelers are 8-3, but there's some rumblings going around that the Steelers might be looking to replace Russell Wilson as the starting quarterback of this team next offseason. And today, I'm going to be breaking down the latest rumors and rumblings surrounding the quarterback position. I'm going to let you guys know what I think the Steelers do next offseason at this critical position in the National Football League. Now, if you guys want to see my analysis of Russell Wilson's performance this Thursday against the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to be putting up a bunch of clips from Thursday night's game and tell you why Russell Wilson actually played maybe his best game as a Pittsburgh Steeler, as crazy as that sounds, against the Cleveland Browns on TNF. So I'm going to be putting out a bunch of clips on there. You can give me a follow at Jack_Sperry for Steelers film analysis all season long. And also, we have a Instagram account here on Steelers Talk for short-form Steelers content. So if you want a daily blast of Steelers short-form content, you guys can go follow us at SteelersCS. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. So before we start here, and before we get into kind of the rumors of other players that the Steelers might bring in, I'm just going to say this right off the bat. Russell Wilson is the most likely option to be the Steelers starting quarterback in 2025. Now, there's still a lot of season to go, okay? Plain and simply. Like Russ could get hurt. Russ could play terribly down the stretch. A quarterback could become available that's just too good to pass up, right? All these things are possible. But right now, Russell Wilson absolutely is the most likely QB1 option for Pittsburgh in 2025. And Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reported yesterday in his daily chat, or whatever he calls it, that the Steelers do intend to sign Russell Wilson to a multi-year contract next offseason, whether that's 2, 3, 4 years, we don't know. But right now, the intention of the Steelers is to bring back Russell Wilson next season. But like I said, guys, there's still a lot of football left to be played, right? Justin Fields could come in after an injury or something and, could land the job. There's still a lot of things that could happen in terms of the decision that the Steelers are going to make. If you would have asked the Steelers this time last year who the Steelers starting quarterback would be, they would have said Kenny Pickett, right? So there's a lot of things that can change from now to the 2024 offseason, but make no mistake. Right now, the way things sit, the intention of the Pittsburgh Steelers does seem like they are going to stick with Russell Wilson as their starting quarterback. And honestly, in my opinion, that's the right move, guys. You take a look at his numbers so far this year with the black and gold. The yards per game is pretty darn good at 242.4. Completion percentage is okay, but when you factor in how far he's throwing the ball down the field this year, it's actually pretty decent. 7 touchdowns to 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. Obviously, you want to see those turnovers numbers get a little bit lower and the touchdown number be a little bit higher, but in 5 games played, those numbers certainly aren't terrible. And you look at the Steelers' offensive stats with Russell Wilson in the game, okay? Points per game sitting at 25.6. Right now, if that was for the entire season, that would be 8th best in the National Football League. So you're still top 10 in scoring offense when Russell Wilson is your quarterback. You're also top 10 in yards per game at 363.6. The yards per play, not as efficient at 19th. The third down percentage and the red zone offense aren't exactly fantastic. And then the giveaways is only at 4 when it comes to the interceptions and fumbles Russ has given up these last 5 weeks. And honestly, guys, Russell Wilson is the type of quarterback that the Pittsburgh Steelers want and like to run their style of offense. They like to run the football, they like to go play action, and they like to throw the ball down the field. Russ does all those things. Plus, what do the Steelers like? They like clutch quarterbacks that can deliver in the clutch moments. Russell Wilson has delivered 2 potential game-winning touchdown passes this year already for the Pittsburgh Steelers. One against Washington to Mike Williams, and then another potential one to Calvin Austin III against the Cleveland Browns on Thursday Night Football. So Russ still has that clutch factor 100%, and he really does fit what the Steelers want to do as a win-now football team. So fill in the blank for me down there in the comments section. Russell Wilson is a top blank quarterback in the National Football League right now. This will be the pinned comment on today's show, so YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. Now, my answer, and this might surprise some people, I think that Russell Wilson's not a top 10 guy, probably not even a top 15 guy in the NFL. I think he's a top 20 guy, which is still a very good starter, all right? To be a top 20 quarterback in the world still means you're a very good player. Now, Russ does have his weaknesses. Sometimes he does hold the ball too long. He cannot progress past his first read over the middle of the field. All right, sometimes he drifts into pressure. All right, he's got his limitations, but I think that his type of quarterback and what he does well and what the strengths that he brings to the table is absolutely the type of quarterback the Steelers can win with and can potentially even win a Super Bowl with how good their defense is and how good the supporting cast is in Pittsburgh. So coming up next here on Steelers Talk, we're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers and Daniel Jones. They have both been linked to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I will let you guys know my thoughts on that possibility coming up here on the show. But before we get into all the crazy rumors here surrounding the quarterback position, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Mando Whole Body Deodorant. And let me ask you guys kind of a weird question here. How do you guys deodorize your balls in the morning, in the shower? Most people will just use soap in the shower or even put some cologne down there. That's got a sting, by the way. But after a few hours, that smell starts to fade and a less desirable smell starts to come up during the day. Lucky for you, our friends at Mando Whole Body Deodorant have come up with the perfect solution with their brand new spray deodorant. It won't irritate your sensitive bits because the first ingredient is water, not alcohol, and it's proven to control odor for 72 hours. It also has a 360-degree spray and works upside down, so it's perfect for getting this stuff anywhere on your body from any angle. Take advantage of Mando's special offer just for Steelers Talk listeners, which gives new customers $5 off their best-selling starter pack with code CHAT at shopmando.com. So this is their spray deodorant right here, guys. It comes in this nice little tube can, and it's got a 360-degree top here for you to spray, and it can also work upside down as well. It's absolutely fantastic if you need to deodorize any part of your body. It's also safe to put anywhere on your body, which is different than a lot of deodorants out there as well. So Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers because it comes with a solid stick of deodorant, cream tube deodorant, two free products of your choice like mini body wash, which I highly recommend, by the way, especially in the bourbon leather scent, and also deodorant wipes, which are also highly recommended, and free shipping. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market today. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. It's time to smell better naked with Mando Whole Body Deodorant today. So A to Z Sports' Wendell Ferreira here has linked Aaron Rodgers to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he thinks that the Steelers are the number one destination for the future Hall of Fame quarterback. This is what Wendell had to say about this rumor. This is the most likely option outside of the Jets, talking about the Steelers. Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are both free agents in 2025, so the Steelers will really need to look at their options. Maybe Wilson wants to stay, but he would certainly be much more expensive than he is now. Rodgers probably wanted more control, and that's why he went to the Jets after years with the Packers, but it didn't work, so going to a franchise where he would be the quarterback and nothing beyond that with a respected head coach in Mike Tomlin would make sense. Well, here's the thing, man. I don't know if it makes sense there, Wendell. I don't love the idea to bring in Aaron Rodgers, even though he would look freaking sweet in the color rush jersey. I don't think that he would wear number 12, by the way, with Terry Bradshaw. But, I'm out on Rodgers. I am, guys. And the reason why that is because he's lost his mobility. So his pocket presence is still good within the pocket, technically, but he can't escape outside the pocket anymore after that Achilles injury and the age thing. He still has some pretty good arm talent, and he still has the arm strength. But another thing about Rodgers' game is that you have to have a high level of chemistry between him and the receivers to run his style of offense. And, he would have no chemistry with anybody here unless Davante Adams decided to come to Pittsburgh, or if somehow the Steelers traded for Garrett Wilson or signed Alan Lazard or brought it back Randall Cobb, right? And those are not things I want to do for like a one-year rental at quarterback in Aaron Rodgers at that point. It's not something I'm willing to do. Plus, the Jets would have to cut him. He is under contract for next season, and maybe they do cut him. We'll see what happens with the New York Jets and what they decide to do there when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. But, man, I don't know if I'd rather take him over Russell Wilson. I would rather pay Russell Wilson and keep him here for the next 2 to 4 years because plain and simply, he's playing better than Aaron Rodgers at this point in the season. And, it's crazy because Rodgers has Garrett Wilson. He has Davante Adams. He has his guys. He handpicked the offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett. All right? He picked the receivers that they brought in, right? They brought in Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb and all these guys, and he's still putting up worse numbers than Russell Wilson so far this year. The yards per attempt, Russell Wilson is smoking him right now. The touchdown percentage and the interception percentage are better as well. So I would rather have Russell Wilson, who is a really good fit for the Steelers offense, still very clutch, doesn't require the same amount of chemistry with receivers as Aaron Rodgers does. And honestly, I think Russ's chemistry with guys like George Pickens have really flourished here in Pittsburgh. So for me personally, I think Russ is a better leader. I think at this point he is the better quarterback, and I think that he's the better option for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the quarterback position next year. But let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Would you rather take Russ or would you rather take A-Rod? Let me know. Type RW if you'd rather take Russ, or AR if you're going to take Rodgers to be the new quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now shifting to Danny, the doo-doo man, Dimes Jones, who, by the way, just got released by the New York Giants today. And by the way, Steelers will not bring him in this year. But Benjamin Solak from ESPN says that he might be in consideration for the Steelers to bring in next season. Now, the thing that I think that he's suggesting that he could be brought in as a backup, and you could do worse as a backup quarterback than Daniel Jones, but I don't think that as a backup, Jones really fits what the Steelers want to do. The Steelers want a quarterback that can throw the ball down the field consistently. That's Russell Wilson, right? And Daniel Jones is somebody that's pretty much afraid to throw the ball down the field consistently, man. He likes to be a check down Charlie. He likes to be running that deke and dunk type of offense. That's when he's had the most success in his career. And, he makes poor decisions when he throws the ball down the field. He doesn't have the best accuracy when throwing down the field. And honestly, he's kind of scared to throw the ball down the field at times when you watch him on film. And that just doesn't fit what the Steelers want to do offensively right now. So even as a backup, I'm not really a big fan of bringing in Dan the doo-doo man and bring him here to this storied franchise here in Pittsburgh. So coming up here, we do have one more quarterback rumor to discuss, and it centers around Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. ESPN's latest mock draft has the Steelers taking Milroe late in the first round to sit behind Russell Wilson. I'll break down my thoughts on that potential idea for the Pittsburgh Steelers here in just a second. But first, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We provide free and informative Steelers content here on Steelers Talk every single day. Sometimes we put out multiple videos a day, and we also go live 3 times a week, twice during the week to talk about the latest surrounding this team, and then we go live on Sundays or whenever the Steelers play for our live watch party. So I appreciate all of your guys' support. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button, because whatever this team decides to do at the quarterback position, we're going to be covering it right here on Steelers Talk. So ESPN's Matt Miller, one of their ESPN draft analysts there, just released his latest mock draft, and he has the Steelers taking Bama quarterback Jalen Milroe with the 28th overall pick next spring to learn and sit behind Russell Wilson and become the quarterback of the future in Pittsburgh. This is what Matt Miller had to say. The Steelers' future at quarterback is a big question heading into the offseason, as both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are set to be free agents. Either could return, but the Steelers might be searching for a more long-term option. Milroe had a combination of Wilson's arm strength and pocket mobility and Fields' rushing ability. He's still a bit raw as a prospect, but he has thrown 15 touchdown passes and rushed for 17 more scores this season. Milroe just needs to improve his touch as a passer, but scouts I've talked to said he has the most upside of any draft-eligible quarterback in the class. And should the Steelers re-sign Wilson, Milroe could sit, learn, and develop further. And honestly, guys, I would rather take Milroe on day 2 as opposed to late day 1, and I'd rather use this pick elsewhere, whether that be at wide receiver, whether that be, God forbid, at offensive tackle again if Broderick Jones doesn't get better and Dan Moore Jr. leaves in free agency. You might need to use it on a corner. You might need to use it on a running back if Najee Harris decides to leave next offseason, right? There's a lot of things that could happen here, and there's going to be a big need that the Steelers need in order to really compete in 2025. Quarterback's not going to be one of those things, and Milroe is so raw, guys, where, even if he does have time to sit and develop, I'm not sure if he's ever going to be an NFL caliber quarterback from the pocket, plain and simply, okay? He's got a long way to go in developing his touch, his accuracy, and his mental processing. And, it's definitely going to – he's got the high upside. He definitely has that. But for a win-now team like the Steelers, I don't know how much sense it makes to go out and get Milroe. But let me know your guys' thoughts down there in the comment section. By the way, Coop, I'd rather do Milroe and draft him in the first round than go get Rodgers or Jones, all right? Plain and simply. I'd rather draft Milroe. This is my favorite idea of the 3 today. But let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Yes or no? Would you take Jalen Milroe in the first round to sit and learn behind Russell Wilson? Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. I will see you guys later. Until next time, here we go, Steelers.